right, so welcome to the SGS Podcast with Wynton.
Riley.
Lauryn. And Taryn.
So as you know, we have Taryn Gonzales here from SVU Women's Rugby. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I'm a freshman at SBU, obviously, and I've been playing rugby since high school. I also played in middle school a little bit, and then I stopped during COVID and started again my sophomore year, and that's when I actually met Coach Pike and we started talking for rugby stuff. And I actually wasn't planning on coming to SBU until I want to say November of last year. It was not my top 4, but it was the 4th in my top 4. And then I came here and I visited and I absolutely fell in love with the school. So that's my fun fact.
Cool. All right, so Riley, you got first, right?
All right, so as a female athlete, a lot of athletes, especially females, are basketball, softball, lacrosse. What got you into rugby? Of all sports, especially in America.
So I used to play flag rugby, and basically my family and I were out on a walk one day in this random town that we never go to, and we just came across it. I used to play Gaelic football, which is another Irish sport because I'm Irish and Hispanic. And
I was gonna say with a last name like that.
yeah. So I played Gaelic football for a long time, and my parents just kind of wanted me to be involved in sports that weren't the normal sport, the average sport. And we were just walking one day, and we came across this flag rugby practice, and they were like, "Oh, if you want to play, you can." I was like, "Okay, I'll mess with it." And then I fell in love with it and played ever since because I liked running, and I was faster than everyone else. So I was yeah, let me come back next week actually, so I can feel this little confidence boost as a 5th grader. So that was
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Okay, got you.
You next.
Okay. All right. So I guess that kind of was tied on to the other question, but you played flag rugby first?
Flag rugby, yeah. So that's a prerequisite for tackle, obviously. So it just you don't hit each other because you're all really young, and I feel that's bad in your formative years. Imagine getting hit. Yeah. So.
Kind of like
Any
football.
other sports?
I dabbled in a ton of different sports, but none of them could keep me engaged long enough. I dabbled in.
Dabbled. I just like the way you.
I dipped my toes into. No, I'm just kidding. But I
It's not a pool.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good.
I played soccer when I was in elementary school, and I literally was so bored that I would pick flowers in the field, and I was this is interesting, I guess. And I just didn't really. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I just never got into it, and then I also played basketball, but for obvious reasons that just did not work out. So.
Yeah.
And I think I got hit in the head with the ball. I was running past them, trying to get the ball out of someone's hand, and they literally shot it into the net. And I was looking up, and the ball came down, and I was like, "Yeah, this ain't for me." I was like, "This is for literally anyone else." So I did play a couple of other sports, and I did karate. But that's not
Karate.
yeah, I know.
So don't mess with her.
Yeah, don't mess with me. That's all I'm saying.
If she gets a yellow, refs, watch out. So just whoop out a karate chop.
Whew. But yeah, I think maybe for karate, I guess agility. I don't know. I also do yoga. I like yoga. Yeah, a little bit. I also surf.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
anything else?
That is awesome.
No, that's kind of it. I just all of it definitely ties in the aspect of it made me the person I am today. So. Because rugby is literally a huge combination of every single sport you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Wynton.
All right, well, now I got all 3 the Jersey questions. All right, so, me being from Jersey City, obviously the city life, more towards New York City, but you said you're from Red Bank, New Jersey. What is it like down there? I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, it's my favorite question. Okay, so I love Jersey. I think it's the best place ever. It's basically it should be on the top of everyone's list. That's all I'm saying.
Key West.
But
Key West.
So I think Red Bank, to describe it, would be like a mix between New York City and Cape May. Like it's like these small like little shops, and they're usually locally owned by someone that lives nearby, and it's all just like small business. They're big about small business, and everyone just knows everyone, but in a like subtle way. Like no one's about everyone's business. We just kind of like, hey girl, how are you? And you go about your day. You go about your Sunday afternoon walking around, and it's like a walkable area. It's also, we're heavy on the like straws, stuff like that. Coming here and seeing that like I don't know if they like give out straws automatically, but in Jersey like they will not give you a straw. So you're like on your own. I've not having to carry on a metal straw. Different. It's different. It definitely hits different.
No metal straws at all?
No, you
No
can't.
plastic straws?
I mean, you can get them, but you have to ask for them, and then sometimes they give you like that like
You have to smuggle them
Oh.
from a different state.
they're like
Illegally smuggle them from
yes,
a different
yeah,
state.
exactly. Yeah, so there is that. I don't know. We're all about water. Like I live right next to the water, Red Bank. It's like because the bank is red because of clay. That's why it's like the history fun fact, history
That's
lesson.
interesting.
But yeah, so I'm like big on surfing. I did jet skiing for a while, but like not on my own, obviously. Stuff like that, paddleboarding, I'm really into. But it's mainly that's what makes it so different. So yeah, I wish it like, and then I'm here in the mountains, like where the fuck am I gonna go?
I actually hate going from the city to the mountains. I despise this place. Like not this place. I love the scenery, but like going from seeing obviously buildings everywhere to just rolling mountains, it's like I can't deal with this. But I love the school. Like the school is great.
Yeah.
But you know, being from Jersey too, like what is a chubby pickle?
Okay, the Chubby Pickle is a bar that I used to sing at quite often. I love the Chubby Pickle. Before I'm gluten free now, but before I was gluten free, I would mess up those fried pickles. They just like everything pickle. But it's like a
A
bar.
pickle burger?
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. You have pickles on your burger, but basically it was like this little bar that you usually artists start there and then they go to Asbury Park. I don't know if you've heard of Asbury Park. Yeah. So I started there. I had a couple of friends that would perform with me there, and he's actually pretty big now. But shout out Cranston Dean. But yeah, the Chubby Pickle is like a fun little nook of Jersey. It's in Highlands too. Like that's like I feel like for my area that was like the center of creativity. So it was a nice little spot.
So you're saying that you can sing? So you're saying that you can sing, right? I think we got a little clip to play. I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously, like this is just a little bit. We're gonna watch this for like 30 seconds, so.
Actual social history is great.
Dang, like you so where's the mouse at, bro? Multi-talented right here, multi-talented. You can stop that clip now. But yeah.
I remember that night too because like the guitar chords got messed up. He was playing like a different guitar chord than me, and I was like, "What are you doing?" If you look at me when he starts playing that second part, I look over and I'm like crying because and that's my buddy though. So we're homies. I actually love him, and he's a fantastic artist. So.
But yeah,
All right. Oh, yeah.
But
Oh wow, you guys really stalked
No.
the YouTube page.
We didn't stop.
No, I only saw like the 5 episodes. The 5 different Chubby Pickle
The
ones.
40 videos of
5 is crazy.
Like Chubby Pickle Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, Part 5. I'm like,
Yeah, one of those songs was actually like a song I wrote, and it was the worst song I've ever written in my entire life. I was so embarrassed, and my mom was like, "Taryn, you have to play it. Come on!" Like, I was like, "I don't really like think it's that good," and she was like, "No, it's great. Please, honey, play it for me." And so I played it, and I was like, "Never again." I was like, I actually may never play my music again. That's actually so funny.
so did you want to be like a musician before you officially decided to go like full into rugby, or?
I still actively play music. I still do it, but it's more of like a hobby of mine. I've always loved it, but I've loved it to a point of like maybe not trying to like push it into professional anything. Like it's just kind of always been something on the back burner that I like do to de-stress or like relax. And so I didn't ever want to put.
So you use it as a form of therapy.
Yes, exactly. Instead of like putting that pressure on it to be like, oh, I have to be successful. Oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. I almost, there was a period of time where my parents were like, you have to go to American Idol. So I actually almost, I know, that would have been crazy.
That would have been a crazy pull if you did.
Yes.
That.
Yeah, but I decided against it because I was like also like 15, not even. So my parents were like, "Yes, honey, go do it." Honestly, would I pursue it? Maybe if I got anywhere with it, but I prefer the track that I'm going down already. So I like where I'm at.
What are you majoring in here?
I'm majoring in English, planning to minor in poli-sci, but with a pre-law track. So
Wait, so do you have Sarah Sullivan as a teacher?
No.
Or a professor? Good. I have no clue what's going on in that class. I'm not even going to lie. So.
That's crazy. Crazy work.
Yeah.
I think there's also me. Yeah. But yeah, we already talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, what was it like the biggest challenge leaving Jersey besides like, like that type.
Okay, I have that. I got you in the bag. The biggest challenge leaving Jersey, my family is very close, so we've always been very supportive of each other. We're a big support system family, and we all, like, my parents know everything. Some kids are like, oh, I don't tell my parents, I'm so secretive with my parents. No, sorry, the first people I call, if something bad happened and it's, like, embarrassing and, like, or it's, like, relationship stuff or, like, I did something stupid, I'm like, Dad, what the hell do I do? I'm like, oh my God. Or it's something so fun. Like, I think I take life less seriously. So it's like, I'll call my dad and be like, Dad, you have no idea what just happened. Like, this is so embarrassing. But I think leaving my family was definitely 110% the hardest bit, especially because I'm really close to my siblings and they're younger. So having to, like, watch them grow up from afar is hard. But also, like going to the beach was, like, my, like, oh, like, I had the worst day ever, let me just go to the beach and relax, and, like, let's just listen to the water. And here, it's dead silent, there's no beach, and I just can stare at a mountain, I'm like, okay, I have to figure out how to find a coping mechanism outside of going to the beach, because I think the nearest beach is, like, 2 hours away. Yeah. So that's insane. That was a really big adjustment that I didn't even think was going to be a problem, but as I was getting ready to leave Jersey, I would find myself, like, stressing out and be like, oh, I'll just go to the beach, it's fine. And then I was like, oh my God, they don't have beaches there. So that was definitely the hardest part.
Well, we do, but it's just like 2.5 hours away.
Yeah, and they're not real.
Yeah, they're on Lake Ontario.
Yeah, it's a lake.
Or
it's
Lake Erie. And it's cold as heck all year round.
Seriously?
Yeah. I live up by there. I'm from Rochester. So whenever I went to like the Lake Ontario, I would freeze my butt off.
That's miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, also, you guys have really dry everything here. Like, the air is dry, the water is harsh.
Well, yeah, Canada took all the moisture out with their fires a few years ago.
Oh, I actually think I visited, like, right after that. That was crazy. But, yeah, so that's also an adjustment. Like, I broke out when I first moved here. I was like, my skincare isn't skincaring like it should. Yes.
Like, getting in the showers and then having to do everything, I'm like, this is so bad.
Yeah, I know. It was like, I actually got peeved because I'm like, pride and joy is my skincare. And I was like, why is it not working? So I had to, like, change my skincare routine completely. Because the air's dry here. The water is dry here.
Yeah.
Everything is just so dry. But also, I think you guys are like elevation like 1,000 something, and before I was like 48.
Yeah.
Up here,
I think we're at 2,000.
Yes, I was
I
literally
think we're
sea level.
2,000 up here.
Oh, 2,000. Yeah, probably.
I think we're close. Like 2,200
yeah,
something.
and so that's also crazy different for me because like I don't even know. It just was like intense. I was like, oh my god, like I used to be right next to the water, and now
Yeah.
I'm like in the sky, like actually in the sky. Like there's clouds
Like
on the ground
you feel
sometimes.
like you can touch the clouds
Yes,
sometimes.
literally. Well, maybe not me.
Well,
I'm
every
just too
morning
short,
you
but-
feel like you can touch the clouds.
Yes, yeah. Well, some of them are literally on the grass. I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah.
All right, so a segment like you said that Bonaventure was obviously like your lowest of the top four. Like, and you said you came here, and then it became like the clear cut option. Like, what made that decision so clear? Like, what about Bonaventure did it for you?
It was a community for sure. My thing was I judged things based off of very like black and white. What was I looking for in a school? What was I not looking for in a school? And what did they have to offer me? But I didn't think about the community aspect until obviously I got there because you don't know. And I met the team and I met the coach in person for the first time, or not for the first time, but like I'd seen her in person for the first time in a long time. And I just fell in love with everything. Like the people here were so nice. It was a dark and gloomy weekend, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be miserable, and I'm gonna hate it, and it's gonna be a terrible experience. I'm gonna regret even going up." And they made it so much fun, and they all like were just such positive lights of energy, and I feel like that is such a big deal, especially going into college. Like those coping mechanisms that I don't have, I could find in my team, and I could find in my coach, and also just like I love this campus. Like I literally showed up, and I was like, this is it. Like, this is the spot. There's a photo of me at the front of the school, and I was like, driving the 6 hours here, I was like, I'm not going here. I was like, I can't do 6 hours away from my family. I can't do 6 hours of driving. It's not going to happen. And then we showed up. I saw it, and I was like, is this going to happen right now? And then I met the team, and I just fell more and more in love. And then I actually was in the bathroom the night that I was, like, staying like doing an overnight here for rugby, and I was like, I think I really like it here. Like this is where I want to be for a long time, and I want to have the next chapter of my life here, which is like insane. But I was like, shower thoughts. I was like, this is it. Like I'm so happy with the people here. They make me feel good, and I love the atmosphere. So definitely that, and also like everyone's so like go Bonnies. I'm like, oh my god, okay, like go Bonnies. So that there's definitely that. Like I'm just a girl.
Just like at the church thing at the orientation, you just heard.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes. Well, didn't they sing?
Dr. So one of the professors here yelled "Go Bonnas" after the Lord's Prayer, I think it was, or something, at the chapel event at orientation. They were like, "Go Bonnas!" It was dead silent, and they just yelled that. And I was trying so hard to contain my laughter.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, keep it together, Riley, keep it together.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah, and I also just think that like they prioritize you like here, like you are not just a number.
Yeah.
And that like I feel like that it's like that on the field. It's like that with your classes. It's like that with your advisors. It's like you are a person, and they're looking out for you as a person, which is really nice. And you don't see that with a lot of schools, especially as like athletes. Like, sure, like you're important to them when they're recruiting you, but you kind of like fade and your sparkle goes away. And I feel like we all are valued the same. I'm new, but I still have just as much say as the person next to me, the girl next to me. And like you just know when you see that, and when you see that in people, you know. And like also like some of the other visits I went on, it was like, oh, you're important and you're here, but like we're going to shove all the good things in your face and then kind of sneak the bad things by. And they were just very upfront with me. They were like, it snows a crap ton here. If you don't like snow, this might not be the place for you. If you don't like this type of weather, it might not be the place for you. But we would really love if you'd like this place. And so I think that was it. Like, it was just everybody being so kind and open. And everyone has stayed open. It's not like that was like a big, like, oh, please come here. Here's the honey pot. Like,
here's the pot of gold.
Yeah, exactly. And then it disappears when you get here. No, it stayed. And I definitely am in love with this team and like this place. So.
You were talking about like recruiting and like the recruiting process. So, especially like I know rugby is like a very, very team-oriented sport. So, how did you get yourself to stick out personally so that you could get yourself recruited and get yourself noticed by coaches?
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. It's all about how you do interact with those people around you. Like, I think what makes, for me at least, like when I look at a team, what makes a valuable player is someone that is looking for someone else to do better or looking to what's that next pass? How can I get it out to you? Because if you are looking for the success of others, you're usually looking for the success of the team too. If you are self-centered and you have ball-shaped eyes and you have try-zone eyes, then 9 times out of 10 you're not going to be that great of a player because you want that ball, you want to take it in, and it's just not, that's not a realistic expectation if you want to win and you want to be successful. It's also a level of care. I think that everyone has skills and everyone is talented in their own way, especially on that pitch. And honestly, like rugby is one of those sports that everyone brings something different to the table.
Yeah.
And that is something that I've loved for such a long time. It's like one of my favorite things about rugby ever. And so there's not one specific thing or one specific, I don't know what the word is. There's not any one specific thing that you can do that makes you more recruitable. It's how are you interacting with your teammates, because rugby is such a team-oriented game. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's all about like that connection that you have. If you can't connect with other people, it's not the game that you want to be playing, or you want to try and get in touch with them. Like it's all about being in touch with each other, like on a deeper level. I think that that's what's so crucial.
Yeah, because it's not like rugby's not like basketball where you have one player who's obviously like the best player on the team. Like you just have to have everyone come together as a collective to help. Because you can't just get it to one player and have them truck through everybody like they're Derrick Henry.
She said, hold on.
Who was it that was trucking through like 8 girls on the sideline yesterday?
It was Jay Lee Wagstaff. She is amazing.
Oh my God.
Mo?
Everybody was just trucking through people.
Yeah.
I think Kenna was just chatting like that was just
It was insane. Though I actually am not even gonna lie, the talent on this team is so insane, and it's like it's actually inspirational. That's another thing. Like you have to be willing to see like, oh, that person's better than me, and I want to learn how to get good like them, and I want to see how I can further their success, and they can further my success, and we can both make each other so much better, because there is no team if you don't have that type of energy.
Yeah, like the girl who scored 5 tries his last 2 games.
Yes, I don't know who it is.
Well, I know someone.
It was definitely
had 5.
Kenna.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Kenna's a beast. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And Jay Lee is like actually so insane. Like I actually aspire to be like her one day. Like she takes context so well. And like she just keeps on just trudging through, and I'm like, oh my God, girl. Like eat that up. Yeah, so I think it's all about being not selfish. It's all about being excited for someone else's success.
Yeah, so how did it feel after scoring like your first try or touchdown or whatever you guys call it in rugby? Like as a collegiate athlete, how did it feel to get that first try out of the way in your first game, right?
Yeah,
First or second? It's one.
it was
of
my
your
second
first.
game, I think, Cornell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got my first try at Cornell, and it was honestly like really relieving. Like I was like, yes, like I just proved why I'm here. I mean, and that's like a personal athletic thing. Like with like I feel like it's a struggle with women athletes as well, like female athletes. It feels like you're constantly proving yourself. Like, why do I deserve to be here? Why do this? Why do I that? And Coach Pike is amazing about like making sure that you know like you are here because you're good, and like you're playing at this level because we want you here. But it kind of validated me, and it was like, I'm here for a reason. I just did that. Oh my God, I just did that. Like it was like crazy. And another like added aspect, which I don't know if I would have felt if my family wasn't there, is my family was there watching me, which was it was like such a good feeling. And I was like, oh my God, like I just ate that up. Like they were. They were able to come, which is, yes, they drove all the way to Cornell. And I was like,
awesome.
Yes, I know. My family is like actually like my number 1 fans. But
So have they been at like every game when you were younger? That
honestly, when I was in high school, what's crazy is nobody knew I played rugby. Like it was like a low-key thing.
like, because you didn't play for your school, you played for like an
club.
AAU kind of team.
Yeah.
So
Nobody knew. It was kind of a low key thing that I kept to the side. I would train for it, and I would totally put effort in outside of practices and stuff like that. But it was never like something I talked about. And so my family, I don't even think really, like, obviously when I started getting recruited, they were like, "Oh my God, like you actually play rugby." But at the time that I really started getting serious about it, I had a car and like I was driving myself everywhere. So they were like, "Oh, she's going to practice." Like, but I just disappeared for like 3 hours because my team was an hour away from where I lived. So I was trekking, but I love the sport so much. So I was like, it's worth it to me. But they would try to come to games, but we're just very busy. And they were
Yeah.
like, we're gonna come and commit to coming, and like we're so excited to watch you play. I think also it's like I just moved out, so they're like,
they
wait, what?
have
We
that,
can make it up.
They have that I miss you, and
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
they're like, how are we gonna last 4 years?
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, exactly.
I feel
And
like everyone's parents, all the freshmen parents are in that phase
Yeah.
right now.
yeah, and everyone's jumping. I feel like I literally, my roommate and I were talking about it. Our parents are jumping up at the opportunity to come up here. They're like, "Oh, you need groceries? Like
Yeah.
I can come and buy them for
Yeah,
you." And
yeah.
you're like, "It's 6 hours away. No, do not come buy my groceries."
I feel like my cats missed me more than I did because I went back home this past weekend.
Yeah.
So I feel like my cats ended up missing me more than my parents did. Like my dad's already trying to move my room out, make it his own little man cave, and I'm
No.
like, dude,
You're
I'm
like-
like, come on, at least let me have one thing in the house before.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Like, let me have one spot.
You already got rid of my man cave in the basement. At least let me have my
Your room.
So
Yeah.
he left my sister's room up for 4 years. What's the big rush to get my room out?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "Bye, boy."
Yeah. He's like, you're gone.
Yeah, that's so
But-
funny. But yeah, I think for my family, it was just a struggle. It's definitely like second semester they're not gonna know my games. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's also crazy work to be driving 6 hours, but I think it's all like a matter of support. Like they just love.
Bad work. Oh my God. Crazy.
Yeah, I know. It is crazy. They were like they came up yesterday, and I thought they were gonna stay for like a night or something, and they were like, "Oh well, bye," and I was like, "You just drove 6 hours to watch 2 hours of games? Like that's insane. That's crazy work." But
Yeah, that is insane.
But I think it's all like a level of like the parents again like are struggling. They want to see their kids, and I love my family, so it's okay. I'll let them come.
Sorry, I lost my voice.
You're good.
But I just love the train of thought too. Okay, wait, you are playing next semester.
Yes,
Sevens?
yes, it's sevens.
Okay, what's the difference between 15s and sevens?
Okay, so 15s is there's 15 girls in the field, and there's not less space, but 15 girls takes up a lot of space, and especially at the way like the angles that you have to play. So it takes up a lot of space, and it's a little bit more of a slow, like relax, you ease into it game. Sevens, however, also 15s is a little bit more strategic. Or actually, that's a lie. Scratch that. It's a lot more of a slow like, let's play for the long haul game. Like you're just setting things up to succeed later.
So it's like
108 to
chess.
0, 108 to 0 long haul game.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 games in a row.
Like, 2 games in the hundreds.
I think, yeah,
We,
yeah, I think it's just we all like got really close really fast, and we all connected really fast on a deep level. So I think that's other colleges have not had the opportunity to like really get like that, whereas we got really lucky with the setup of personalities that we have, and that's why we're doing so well right now. And also we're all so committed. Like we all really want to succeed, not just for ourselves, but for the girls next to us. However, sevens is a faster game. It's not about like, oh, set this up so we can succeed in 20 minutes. No, it's get that ball to the try zone ASAP. And it's also 7 people on the field. There's so much space. And it's a very aggressive, very fast game.
Would you say the score is like more in 15s or 7s?
15s. I definitely think people, it's easier, not easier, but it's harder to be successful in 7s because there's so much space, and it's usually a quick, like there's some really quick girls out there that are just and you're like, oh my god, I can't even catch up, or they ran through space but then you opened up another space by going to get them, and that is really intense. It's a mind game, I think, more. I prefer 15s because I like a slow, like chess-like game. You know, it's definitely like checkers and chess.
Yeah.
Like checkers is a quick like game,
Yeah.
whereas like chess is like slow,
Slow,
thought out,
planned
drawn
out.
out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, strategize. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, so
that's
you're-
the way I'd describe it.
You were talking about your guys' like mix of personalities and everything. Did the coaches do anything to foster that like team and community environment, or was it just like mostly you guys just clicking like that, like off the bat?
I think it's a mix of both. Like the coach definitely had us like mixing and mingling. She had us had us do a dinner together, and that was really like I think it was a pivotal point for us like as a team to like get together, do all that, and find each other's personalities, find what we like we're comfortable with each other. But also I feel like the upperclassmen, the leadership, have worked really hard to foster a certain type of attitude. And also we focus on like a next ball mentality where it's I just messed up, but I'm gonna worry about the next ball because if I get caught up in that last one, I'm just gonna mess up the rest of the game because I'm gonna be stressing. So I think that's another thing. Like we're so supportive of each other that team culture kind of came naturally. I think and that's so important for a team too. So I'm grateful to have the community that we have made. And
Yeah.
So
I figure out I'm gonna present it to you funny every time now.
that's cool. But I'm gonna say off like my own like experience of that team like mentality. It's actually been really good to like come onto the media team and be like, oh wow, this is something like great. Like you know how I've been taking photos for you guys.
Yeah.
I'll say like one moment that I actually like got to capture was McKenna walking up to you at the Cornell game after you scored that first try, and it was like, oh, so they're like that.
Yeah.
So they're like that. So like, can you speak a little bit on like specific, like not specifically, but like, as you said, like the upperclassmen leadership how they impact you personally? Just
I am really hard on myself. Again, like it's a female athlete thing. Like we are so hard on ourselves. And I don't know. I can't speak on being a male athlete because I am not a male athlete. But I know as a female athlete, I'm constantly like challenged to prove myself and prove why I deserve this or that, or
I feel
just
like
prove.
that goes for all athletes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
'Cause especially in high school, and when I was on the varsity squad for soccer, if I messed up, I'm like I'm an ass.
Yeah.
Like I'm horrible. So then my teammates are like, "No, you're not. You're on the field for a reason." And I'm like, I just missed a ball that everyone should be able to make 99% of the time. So I feel that.
Yeah, so then exactly, like as an athlete, you're constantly striving to prove yourself. Also, and at the end of the day, like we're all competing for those first 15. And so like it's stressful, you drop the ball or you mess up. And the fact that those girls are always like, it's okay, we'll get the next one. Or like, it's okay, relax, calm down, reset, and then come back. And like return to action, RTA is what they say all the time. And honestly, like that support, it goes outside of rugby. And if you like there's days that I've had terrible days at class. I'm like, ugh, I hated class today. I felt unprepared. I read the text, but I didn't feel like I had a good class.
That's me every day.
Yes, literally. I feel
That's
like
Casey.
I saw somebody running and I was like,
Caution Casey.
Okay.
That's what we call him.
But anyways, they pick you up in that sense too, and like they are just like always seriously there to support you on and off the field. They were like, if you guys ever need anything, missing home, come over to our house, come over to our townhouse, and come hang out. Like just let's chat, let's go get coffee. So it's like they are just so supportive of us as people, I think, and that is so critical too to the team. So that's something definitely the upperclassmen have added to us. And they also want us to be well-rounded people. They don't just want us to be athletes. They want us to be student athletes and human beings before all that. So, and I think that they also remind you, they bring you back down to earth, because there are times where I'm so hard on myself. I'm like, I suck, and I can't do this, and I'm not built for this. And they're like, you are built for this. Like, you do it every day. You just had a bad day today. And I'm like, thank you for reminding me that. Or they're like, you're enough. You're going to work hard, and you're going to succeed. And so that is something that I feel like has helped me a lot, too. Like, leaving my family, this is my family. Like, my family away from my family, my home away from home.
damn, that's insightful. That's really insightful. Yeah.
But so I know we're going off script now, but I got another one. So like being a student athlete is hard, obviously. We've all been student athletes in high school. We know what it takes to balance the practices, study halls, schoolwork. How is that intensified in college now that you have less classes but more free time? But they expect you to study more in that free time than you did in high school. So just what's like the balance? How's the balance in keeping your mental health good while still having that busy schedule?
It's finding like the small things. Like I think the first few weeks had such a hard time. I was like, I literally feel like I cannot connect with myself. I can't find myself. I can't figure it out. It's because that free time you have literally so much time to do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. But no one tells you, okay, time to study. Yeah. Or no one tells you, okay, go on a run now because you have to stay fit. So it was definitely like finding a groove, finding a schedule, and also keeping in touch with parts of me that I feel are so critical to me but aren't required of me. Like music. Like the first, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks, I didn't play a single instrument, didn't sing at all. I was just so busy, so preoccupied. And I literally, by the end of those 2 weeks, I was so drained that I was like, I don't know, like, what's wrong? What am I missing? I went to the Quick Center, and I played some music, and I was like, wow, okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. I was like, I am missing my home. I'm missing, like, parts of me that I feel are critical, and I can't figure it out. So it's all just coming in touch with what parts of me am I willing to keep scheduling time for, but also like for studying, it's finding what studying like strategies help you the most, because I feel like I was studying how everyone else was studying and I was not grasping this stuff. I was like, oh my God, like there's these quizzes in English and I feel like I'm not getting it enough to be able to take this quiz, and I'm not failing, but I'm not doing the best, and I feel like I'm not succeeding. So, and obviously I'm only like 2-3 weeks into college, so yeah. I don't know for sure. I haven't 100% found myself in that sense, but it's definitely like remembering that like it's my path and not everyone's paths are going to be the same. So that was what was really hard at first, like seeing that, oh, like this person can study for 20 minutes and be successful, or whereas like me, I'm like I read the text or something like that, and then I'll leave it be, and then I'll go back and read it again. It's like it's just finding yourself, keeping in touch with yourself. That's what I feel like a lot of us are all struggling, especially freshmen. Like we all want to go out and want to be partiers, or we want to go out and go to like freshens or something, hanging with everybody.
Freshens.
Yeah, exactly. And like for me, like I'm not about that, but I was like, I want to be social and I want to be fun, so I would like try to make time for I would try to make time for hanging out with everyone and studying, and I wasn't putting myself first. So I think that's where the juggling is so hard, but as I'm going through it, it's a little bit easier because I'm finding the like soft spot, the sweet spot for it.
To me, anything? Yeah. I mean, I was basically asking what you said, because for me, I really want to do rugby. It seems really fun.
It is so fun.
You are a great teammate. Like, I can tell you're a great teammate. You're very energetic, very bubbly. Like, you can bring a lot to the team, and you see that on the field, too.
Thank you.
So, I mean, I would love to try it, but, like, seeing, like, how much it takes to be a D1 athlete is insane. Because, like, it is your one guy day. You have it on your mind the whole day, and then you actually have to go do it on top of that.
It's like a full-time job.
Yeah.
At this point.
On top of school, it's like just props to D1 athletes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially right, because it's like.
And that's part of the.
Yeah. And then it's a lot. So.
It is.
Props to them.
And like I guess like that's actually 100% true. We do like lift in the morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we have practices almost every day. I think like 2 days out of the week we don't have practice. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, and it's
what
hard.
What time are those morning lifts? Like
6:45 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
And you have to be there at 6:30.
Wait, so they last an hour, or how long do they last?
We go until about 8.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like so like honestly, in theory, it sounds so terrible. It sounds like a like treacherous. Like, but in reality, like you said, those personalities make such a big difference because when I'm waking up in the morning at 6:45 a.m. or I wake up at 6 because I'm like I gotta lock in, and then you have to be there at 6:30. They want you there 15 minutes early, obviously, so that everyone's prepared and everyone's there. And I would be miserable. I am not a morning person. There is not a day in my life that I've ever claimed to be a morning person. I don't like mornings. You could not pay me to wake up early if I didn't have to. So waking up to those lifts, at first I was like, waking up for those lifts was miserable at first because I was like, I'm going to hate it. And so the first day I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I'm fighting for my life. And then I got there, and everyone was so nice. And everyone was like, obviously, we're all low-key. It's morning. We all just woke up. We don't want to be talking too much. But, like, having everyone be like, okay, reach a PR. Like, okay, do the next thing. Heavier weight. That is actually so crazy because I used to work out alone. Obviously, my team was like an hour away, so we didn't ever do like team lifts or anything like that. It's also a club team, so they don't really like ask you to do anything outside of it. Just because you're in high school, there's a lot of responsibilities outside that they don't know about. But doing team lifts, like I've actually literally never lifted this much weight in my entire life. I've never, because I just wasn't being pushed. But then the second I got to my team, they're all like, "Yeah, girl, you get it. Do it again." I'm like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I can do it again." So it's stuff like that. Waking up though, I'm not gonna lie, like it's like I get out of bed, I'm like, okay. I'm like another day. I'm gonna take it day by day.
Another day, another dollar.
Yeah, exactly. So, you're right. It's literally like the way I've described it to my family too is like rugby class. It's just like the same things over and over again, and sometimes it gets a little bit tedious, or like it's a little bit annoying. I'm like, I feel like I just did rugby all week. But and also in high school, like it was kind of similar because I was driving so far. But having the team that is like actually my friends, like I actually like the people I'm playing with, which I feel like you can't always say about sports teams. But I really like love the girls I'm playing with. I am happy to be playing with them. I love who they are as people. That makes such a big difference because I'm excited to see the personalities that I'm about to go see, and like I'm hype about, oh my god, yeah, I get to like go warm up with them, and like it honestly makes a difference. So in theory, it sounds freaking awful. Like I wouldn't want to do it if I just heard about it, but when you actually are doing it, you don't even realize that you're filling up your time. Yeah. And it is genuinely like a bunch of friends all hanging out and doing something we love. So it's like video gaming with your friends.
Those bus rides must be really fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly,
with the sounds of it, that bus ride sounds fun.
It is. We all and also we all do have lives outside of rugby. As much as it sounds like we like are always at rugby, we all do have like personal lives, and we all do our own thing. So the lore drops on those bus rides about their personal like each other's personal lives were like, "Girl, what'd you say?" Like,
you said the chubby pickle?
The chubby pickle? No, I'm just kidding. But you did what in the chubby pickle? You sang? That's crazy. But no. I mean, like it's that, but it's also like we all have kind of connected to like bus rides. I'm not gonna lie. When we're going to the game, it's either really hype or really low key. You can kind of get the vibe in the first like 15 minutes of the ride. But we usually go like an hour or 2 hours away, so it's low key. But then when we go back, it's either hype or everyone's knocked the heck out because it was a hard game. And we're like, oh, like we're all like passed out. But it's so much fun, and actually, like it's genuinely like a family. Like we all love each other so much that it's like we keep the energy up, we keep it vibing. So
yeah, I feel like everyone has at least that like per season that one memorable bus ride. Because I remember my 10th grade year for soccer, we were blasting Juice WRLD Robbery on the bus. Even the bus driver and the coaches started singing along.
Yes.
And last year we pulled up to a game. Everyone was wearing ski masks.
Yeah, that's actually so fun.
I feel like everyone at some point, like they have that awesome bus ride, and then their next bus ride is just like the whole time. Like
yes, and everyone's knocked out.
In that order. Exactly, I feel like.
Exactly. No, that is exactly it. I think the first bus ride we were all getting hype. Like, also, I think what's fun is like we all are like we literally like the idea like, oh, I'm just a girl. Like we are all so much more than
I'm
just
a
girls,
Barbie
but
girl.
yeah. But like we all also are all adults, but we all like I think the first thing, one of the things that really connected us all during preseason, somebody started blasting like freaking camp rock music, like on the field. Like we were getting ready to like start doing preseason, and somebody started blasting like Disney music, and I was like, let it go. Like I was like, oh yeah, we didn't kind of mess with it. So it was just like so good. I literally like it's one of my core memories I think here so far. And I have it in my phone, like, and every time I'm bummed or I'm like, I'm missing home, I look back to that video, I'm like, I like love being here and I love the girls I'm playing with and fighting for. So yeah, we all just are like so like I genuinely can't explain it. It's just it's such a connection, and we're all like we all love each other so much. That's hard to find. Weapon?
I said you can look at the time.
Oh no, you're good. My phone, my
Oh.
Apple Watch was like pinging. I was like,
Oh,
but
yeah. I feel that. Yeah.
yeah, you're good. I mean, I got 20 minutes. I got 20 minutes of.
All right, so you joined the 2023 Small College National Champions when you guys were D3. Now moving up to D1. Like, what's the expectations of the team? Like,
Oh, the expectations of going D1. Honestly, I wasn't here when we were D3, so that I can't speak much on that because I have no idea what the expectation was for them. But it's just like the expectation of like genuine love for the sport, like or not. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to know it. You don't have to be 100% about it. You can be like, I don't know, like this is a little weird. Like why are we doing this? But it's all the expectation is open-mindedness and commitment. And we actually got these bracelets. Hold on, let me show.
I saw that earlier. I was wondering what that was.
And then there's another side. Wait, did you get one? No. I don't know if you're supposed to get one, so I definitely will talk to Coach about it. But confidence, grit, and humility is like these are words that we are trying to bring into every game. And then so the program, so like men and women's, is honesty, discipline, and community. And then for us, the 2024 words are confidence, grit, and humility. So I feel like that's a really big thing for us. Those are the expectations. Those are what we're expected to bring to practice, and what we're expected to bring to lift, and what we're expected to bring into a game, or like walk around with our everyday lives. Like in class, we still are holding ourselves to a certain standard. So I think the expectation is open-mindedness, trusting the process, buying into the program, like genuinely just being there, showing up, and doing your best. Is it intense? It is definitely intense. Is it different from what I did in high school? For sure, because it's a lot more of a time commitment. And I think that is another adjustment that the program requires because it went D1. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I wasn't D3. But the time commitment is a lot, and it's sometimes stressful. But there's also 28, or I think, I'm not 100% sure. There's like 20-something other girls doing the same exact thing. And they're there for you. They understand what you're feeling, and they want to support you. And so, sure, it's so hard if you do it solo, but you're never solo because there's always at least one person on that team that's like, hey, I noticed you were a little funky today. Is everything okay? And you're like, actually, I've had a really bad day. They're like, okay, let's talk about it. And that is really like intense love for my team because that's so beautiful. I think that is something I cherish and will always cherish about them. So, yeah. The expectations are just having a good heart, having a good mind, walking into practice ready to go, ready to tussle. So, yeah. I'm ready to commit to everything.
Ready to scrum.
Yes, ready to scrum. Ready as ruck.
Oh my God. That is a good one.
Yeah, I know.
What even is a ruck? I'm not going to lie.
It's like that, like, when you get tackled and they're, like, trying to fight for the ball, and then your teammate's, like, holding on to you. Yeah, that's what a ruck is.
Oh, okay.
Like, is that a ruck? You're like, okay.
Yeah, no, as I said, I tried to watch it, or I watched the game yesterday. I had no clue what's going on. All I know is I just watched these Navy guys who's the shortest person on their team was probably taller than the second tallest person on our team. I'm just seeing them run into each other full speed. I'm like, what is going on?
So intense. It's so intense, but it's such a beautiful sport.
Yeah.
It's definitely a gentleman's sport too. Like they call it a gentleman's sport. I don't know if that's like, I don't know what you call it for women, but it's like, honestly, like all respect goes out. And that's another thing I think also what maybe that I didn't say before, like it ties into like the whole, like what makes you a good player. It's all about the respect that you carry for the team you're going against, for your coaches, for the people that are offering their time for you, for your teammates. I think I said that. But yeah, it's just all about respect. It's genuinely how much you respect everyone's time, everyone's effort.
And how to not get 2 cards in a minute.
Yes.
Like Navy did.
Navy got 2 cards in a minute?
Yeah. Almost 3.
That's crazy. And they still won?
Yeah. This was close to the end of the game.
Oh, there you go.
And then one of our fans were like, "You're playing like Army."
Oh.
The young.
Oh. Army's like so intense. I have a couple of friends on Army, the girls team, and they are just so intense and so actually amazing. It's like crazy.
Yeah. So, but there's always one team like that, just one team that's so good that you just hate to play against them. I feel like
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
I feel like no matter what sport you play, there's gonna be that one team.
Yeah.
I remember that one team from my childhood, man.
Yeah.
I hated going against those kids, but I wanted to go against them so that I can finally beat them.
Yes.
Which never happened.
Yes. Yeah. That's one
What?
thing. Yeah, he's like tearing up, guys. He's tearing up. Just so you know, cue the camera. I'm just kidding, but
No, because bro, we came in with because actually this is a sore subject for me, but so it was
He
this
said, "Don't
team
make me
called
cry."
it was this team called Northwest back when I played football, and they had they were known for kind of being like cheap and stuff,
Yeah.
but they were always really good. And
Yeah.
in the championship game, I had like 4 fumbles. Like I forced 4 fumbles, none of them counted. And then so this one dude, I was trying to chase this kid down, and he ended up scoring. And I was so mad at myself, and I was crying after the game because we lost 14-13. And I'm like, if I would have just dove, we could have
Yeah.
won the game. So
And that's another thing, like athletes, like it's so hard, and you're so hard on yourself.
yeah,
Like that, so that support from other people is
Yeah.
so critical. Like coach absolutely offers that, and teammates definitely absolutely offer that. A different thing though I think about for rugby, like I don't think I've ever met someone that despised playing against someone. We get excited to play against like teams that like are totally like we think are gonna kick our ass. Like because it's exciting, it's fun to watch, and as somebody that loves the sport, like. I'm like, oh my God, you're so skilled. Like, go, eat it up. Because I think at the end of the day, we're also excited, like, genuinely as a community, as rugby as a whole, we're also excited to see the success of other women. And that, I'm not a male rugby player, but I think it's the same for the men as well.
it might be. Well, because I feel like men are just by nature a lot more competitive. I'm not dissing your guys' competitive
No, I
spirit,
know.
but I feel like that's our nature.
Yeah.
But that's how we had back then. We had to compete for everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like men are just a lot more ingrained to compete. So it might be the same. It might not. So
Yeah.
we'll see when we get a rugby dude on here.
Yes, yeah. And I think that we are definitely competitive. Like, I want to be successful, and I honestly want to beat you. Like, I do,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest. But when someone out beats me or like is faster than me, I'm like, wow, that's good. Because I know how much effort I put into it. How hard are you working? Because I want to work that hard. Like, that's so insane. Like, good for you, girl. So I think that's something that is very, like, for rugby, that's very specific to rugby. But
Nah, y'all tweaking. I'm not gonna lie. In high school, I had to go against a top 15 player in the country for basketball in Jersey City. Top 2 guard in the nation.
Wait, who?
Tahad Pettiford.
Oh my God.
Yo,
Oh, that dude is gross.
yo,
That dude is disgusting.
bro.
Holy crap.
Like
crazy word.
top 15 player in the country. We had to go against them to advance to, I believe, like semis in my junior year.
So I'm assuming you didn't make it?
Oh nah, we lost. I think like 80-42.
Dang!
And I was.
How
with
many
him-
did
that
he
was-
drop against you?
Oh, that was with him sideline. That was that team with him sidelined.
That's crazy.
80-42. They also had another commit. He went to UPenn. That he doesn't matter that much. But yeah,
He doesn't matter that much.
We just lost like by 60 points.
Yeah, I bet that's what the other teams were like when they played. They're like, oh, all those other people.
Oh,
man.
nah.
They're like, we only lost by 100 points. No biggie.
Oh, nah.
It's Cornell for you.
Nah, but what was good about that game? Our D3 player at the time, like he was a senior, he went D3 for NJCU, and then he scored his 1,000 point in that game. We're like, oh,
Against you?
not against
And his
against,
fine. Oh no.
it wasn't his
junior.
final. We still had states. I don't want to talk about the states run. The states run was bad. Again, we played a top 20 team in New Jersey for our states run.
Well, just be thankful your team was actually good because
Nah,
for my school, we sucked at almost everything. So
But I feel like the thing about that team was we sucked too. Like we had a connotation that we were just a straight academic school. My class, the class after me, and then the class before me, we actually changed that. Our school, we had never seen like 3 consecutive states appearances. We did that.
my school's never seen a state appearance.
Oh, that is crazy. That is really crazy.
Never.
That's actually devious.
For
work.
basketball, they have not. For soccer, we've got close, but we haven't ever made states. We almost actually did my senior this past year, but
You put the work in.
yeah.
That's devious work though.
And
like
my-
not a single.
I'm not gonna lie, my school back home was like state champs often.
That's-
We ate that crap up.
That's all. Well, so there was 4 schools in my district where I grew up. There was 4 schools in the
4
district.
colleges?
No,
Or
4
for
high
high-
schools. 4 high schools.
I had
and
2
middle
high
school.
schools. 2
Huh?
high schools.
Fourth every time?
We were 3rd. The school right down the street from us was 4th.
That's
And actually, one of their girls goes here on the D1 soccer team.
That's good though.
but-
She ate.
They, yeah,
That's the
that was
thing.
like we
That's-
called it the Battle of Maiden Lane. Because that was the
You guys
name
are like
of our
swapping
school.
between 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, no, well, because they were our biggest rivals because
Yeah.
they're literally right down the street.
Yeah.
But the only, you want to know the only 2 sports we were good at? It's about to be crazy. Soccer,
And swimming, for sure.
esports.
Esports. I love esports. But yeah, that's another thing. You don't have to be on a great team to shine.
Yeah.
Like obviously she signed D1. That's crazy. That's awesome. And like, it's honestly about how you hold yourself after, like the failure and success and like seeing all that. Like you don't have to be on one of the best teams in the nation. I got lucky. I think we were like 5th or 6th in the nation, Morris, for club.
Lucky.
I know, we ate that up. I'm not gonna lie, like we totally did, but I don't know. I just like, again, and so much like I have so much love for my old team too, because they are the reason I'm here. So there's that. But I'm gonna say that I think I'm running out of time.
I was going to
So.
say.
Thanks guys for having me. Peace
Yep.
out.
Peace out.
Alright, you wanna outro us?
Oh,
Da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. No, I'm joking. This is the SGS Podcast. Thank you, Taryn. That was Wynton. This is Lauryn. And we are out. See you guys next week.
Next week, Katie Patterson.
Yes, KP.